Okay, welcome to the quick start guide to managing the current dmwc.org website. We're going to start by logging in to the current web page, which is just going to be the same URL, dmwc.org/login. It's going to bring up this login page, which I'll email you a separate username and password that you will use to get into the content management system. So you're going to hit login once you enter that information in, and it's going to pull up what is the back end of the Destiny Metro website. Now these tables and the content is not aligned as such on the normal view. Just to get familiar with these top buttons, content always takes you back to the actual web page. Designs you won't necessarily need to use because that will take you to the actual graphic designs and coding of the web page. Users, of course, outlines all the authorized users for the site. Settings, of course, self-explanatory, and pages shows you all the pages that are on the website currently. So you can click through those just to familiarize yourself with the content management system and see how everything is laid out. You'll primarily be working on the home page content. You can see this is where the top banners rotate here.
Well, you can see if you've looked at your outline, you can see.
But where we will be is actually operating with the, let me go back, the news items and calendar items. So every Monday I get a report of all the upcoming news and events that are happening at Destiny. And what I'll do is I'll post all that information inside of Basecamp for you. Your primary goal is to make sure that the home page has all of the current news events, which are under this blog item here, and calendar events, which are right up here under the dmwc calendar. So what you'll do is you'll add a new event, and I'll actually click on an existing event so you can see how the information is laid out here. This is what the user will see. An image, if there's one provided, you can insert that. If there's not, you just want to make sure everything is outlined the same way: who, what, when, and where. So to actually go ahead and edit a news item or calendar item, you're going to hit this little edit button here, and it's going to take you to a word editor similar to Microsoft Word. The buttons are very similar with all of the icons up here, but this is what you'll use to actually enter in the text and the images. And like I said, you want to make sure that when you lay out any information about events that it's in this exact order. So you'll take the report that I give you and you'll just pull out the essential information that the user needs to know. Who's it for, what the event is, when is it, where it will be, and any costs or additional information that is provided. Here's where you will enter in the date, the time. You can create a short code for it. And you can also create, put the name of the event up here. HTML view will allow you some additional editing options, but you won't necessarily need to use that. Once you're done, you just go ahead and hit update, and the information is there. Okay, so how do you enter in new events and news items? You're going to hover over calendar, you're going to hit add event, you're going to type in new event or whatever the name of the event is here. It's going to automatically populate a shortcode for you. Typically I take out the dashes, it's just easier to type if somebody wants to get the direct URL for that page. You want to go ahead and choose the date, whatever the date is. Time is optional as it's mentioned there, but I always select the time if there is one, the start time. And then again, who, what, when, and where the information goes all in here. Okay, so you'll do that for each new event that you receive from the event report from me. And then you'll just hit update or you'll hit add event here, and that's it. To update the news items is typically the same way. You'll hover over blog, write a new post. Again, put in the title, the short code. Author, you're going to want to change that to dmwc, which is just a generic. And then there is no basic format for the blog type. If it's just a news item such as baby dedications, sign up here, or if you're having to put in information about Church on Purpose, or just some basic things that continually happen at Destiny, reoccurring news items, you will put there, and you can kind of see what's already some of the blog items that exist now. Water baptism, what's your story? We're trying to get some Destiny stories submitted. An announcement about a women's event that's going to be coming soon, some book orders. So you'll be able to manage these as well. There may be times where I'll need you to remove items from the news posts. Right now it keeps 5 at a time, which is more than enough. But in the event that you need to remove something, you can just simply change the date to a past date or a date far enough in the future where it won't show up on the blog post. And what I do if I want to remove something for later, or just kind of keep it in the archive, I'll just change it to maybe year 2020. And I'll hit update. And then when I go back to the news, it's not there anymore. And what it'll do is it'll pull the next most recent blog item that's there, which is volunteer opportunities, which is fine. So that'll be a case by case what news items need to appear and not appear. As far as the calendar, I think it holds a certain amount as well. You can always check that in calendar settings. Right now it's slated to list 6 events at a time, 30 days into the future. And that's it. So you will always be provided with the news items, the event items in terms of all the description, the graphics for it. And all you'll need to do is just go into the web page and just keep it updated from week to week. And that's it. You can also preview your work by hitting this preview page button up here as well, just to go ahead and check, make sure everything's lined up, make sure the date is correct for that particular event. Make sure all the news items are there. Also, one other thing to note is with the news items, sometimes people will write comments. From time to time, you want to just check these comments, make sure there's nothing inappropriate, make sure there's nothing that doesn't, if it needs a response, you can go ahead and respond as dmwc. If they're asking, well, who do I contact for this, or where do I go for that, you can always just respond to them as dmwc. But if there's anything inappropriate, you want to make sure you go ahead and delete it. Okay? So that's it.